I now call on Minister Natalie Don to respond to the debate. Around 7 minutes, please, Minister.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I firstly would like to thank Rona McKay for initiating today's debate and thank members for your contributions this afternoon. This is a really important issue and I am completely supportive of ensuring workplaces are more flexible for foster carers. This debate, my first in government, has provided us collectively as a Parliament an opportunity to recognise the Fostering Network's annual foster care fortnight. And it's also an excellent opportunity for us all to recognise foster carers and acknowledge the vital difference they make to the lives of our children and young people. Today, I published a letter to all foster carers thanking them for all that they do, but I'd also like to put on the record just now my sincere and heartfelt thanks to all foster carers and practitioners working in the sector. We absolutely recognise the key role that you play in providing secure, nurturing and supportive homes for children and young people across Scotland. What you do day in and day out positively transforms lives. I would also like to take this opportunity to add my thanks to the Fostering Network Scotland, who are here with us today and who I met with prior to this debate, for all the work that they do organising Foster Care Fortnight and in raising the profile and awareness of fostering more generally. As Rona McKay highlighted in her motion and others have raised in their contributions to today's debate, there are challenges, including the retention and recruitment of foster carers. But there are also opportunities for everyone across the Chamber, national and local government, the third sector, local communities and, importantly, employers in supporting our foster carers. There is absolutely no doubt that the pressure within the foster care system is an area that we need to address collectively in order to fully deliver on the promise. And I am absolutely clear that it's vital that the Scottish Government leads from the front if we are to ensure that all care experienced children and young people are supported to grow up loved, safe and respected. Excuse me. We set out our commitment to do that in the Promise Implementation Plan, which was published last year. And within the plan, we outlined our vision for delivering a good childhood to ensure that every child lives in a safe and loving home and where families are given support to overcome difficulties and stay together. We were also clear that investing in a programme of comprehensive and ongoing support for caregivers is key to ensure they have the skills, knowledge and confidence to continue to nurture the children in their care and build stable and loving relationships. And work has begun on delivering this vision. We've committed to an investment of £500 million over the course of the Parliament to our whole family wellbeing programme of activity. This will transform services to ensure families, including foster families, can access the support they need where and when they need it. We also allocated £50 million in this year's budget, including £32 million provided directly to children's service planning partnerships to enable work at a local level. And we provide funding to the third sector to support foster carers. This includes over £150,000 to the Fostering Network Scotland this year to support the Foster Line Scotland service, training for foster carers and encouraging the recruitment of new carers. The Scottish Government is also working with a small group of partners, including the Fostering Network, the Promise Scotland, local authorities and others, to look at how we attract and retain foster carers and what action we can take collectively to make this happen. This group is expected to conclude its work over the coming months, but I know it is considering a package of support for foster carers, which includes both financial and practical elements, so that caregivers feel better valued and better supported. On the financial side, I want to reassure Parliament that it remains a priority of this Government to deliver a Scottish recommended allowance for foster and kinship carers to meet the needs of children in their care as soon as possible. It has taken far longer than originally anticipated, and I do recognise the frustrations of caregivers and stakeholders, but positive progress is being made with COSLA and we are working at pace to make that happen. Allowances are important, of course, but this is not the whole picture. Foster carers need to be supported so they can, in turn, support children who have often had a very difficult start in life to grow and develop in a stable and nurturing family home. We've already committed in our Promise Implementation Plan to publishing what we will do to provide trauma training and support for adoptive parents, kinship and foster carers. And the group that I mentioned earlier is also considering wider learning and development, including peer support. As Pam Duncan-Glancy highlighted, foster carers are often juggling looking after children with other employment, and I am well aware of how hard that can be. The group is actively considering how employers and the wider community can support foster carers. The Fostering Friendly Employers scheme is a positive example of how supportive and flexible employers can help foster carers combine employment with the vital role they play in looking after some of our most vulnerable children and young people. I am absolutely committed to ensuring the voices of those with lived experience are at the heart of everything we do, and I am committed to working with foster carers in Scotland and stakeholders who represent fostering as we develop any changes to policy and practice on our journey to keep the promise. That is why today, in recognition of the positive benefits the Fostering Friendly Employer scheme brings, I will commit to the Scottish Government considering how it can become a more flexible workplace for foster carers, as well as exploring take-up of the scheme in order to both support and promote it further. I'd like to thank Rona McKay on being the first MSP to sign her office up to the scheme, and I would encourage others to do so. Finally, I would like to conclude by thanking Rona McKay for today's debate, as it has given us the opportunity to debate foster carers and everything you do and consider how they can be further supported. I want to thank Scotland's foster carers once again for your service and commitment. There is absolutely no doubt that you improve the lives of children and young people in your care and make our collective vision for children in Scotland to grow up safe and loved a reality. Thank you.